Hey guys, I'm so excited because today I'm going to share with you the best marketing strategy for a new business or service. Now, when I was starting out, my marketing plan was just be everywhere all at once. Do all the things on all the platforms. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Hey, why don't you start a channel, launch a podcast, grow a list, run some ads. But you know what? You should also do organic and definitely do reels. Oh, and do stories too. I mean, the pressure was exhausting. And even after all of that, I still felt invisible. And that is not a marketing strategy. That's marketing madness. I mean, do you ever feel like that? Spread thin, chasing trends, still stuck, still invisible, and still not making real money? Sam Ross here, agency owner and entrepreneur, and I've been helping emerging brands scale to consistent 10K plus months for over 10 years. And back when I was struggling with all of this, I knew what I needed to do was figure out which platform I should concentrate on first. But I needed a strategy to do that. And once I found it, everything got easier. Marketing got a lot more fun and I got results by doing less. So if you want the best marketing strategy for your new business or service, then stick around because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to pick the right platform for you to focus on so you can finally be seen, get real traction, and stop chasing shiny objects. Now, there's this great book called Traction by Gabriel, Weinberg, and Justin Mears. And in it, there's a framework called the Bullseye Method for figuring out which marketing channels will actually move the needle for a business without wasting time trying everything. This is designed for early stage or growing businesses that don't have infinite resources. And it's been used by the biggest agencies and the fastest growing startups for years to find their winning marketing channel. But what I've done is tailor it specifically for solopreneurs, small emerging brands, or someone just starting out. Now, their method focuses on paid testing, but I'm actually going to cover organic testing if cash flow is an issue for you. So instead of testing traction in various marketing channels like they suggest, you're testing platform focus. So instead of asking what's the best marketing channel, which could be anything from trade shows to affiliate programs, which aren't really relevant at this point, the better question for you is which platform deserves my focus right now? Now, in the Bullseye Method, you've got 3 rings. There's the outer ring, a middle ring, and you got it, there's that inner bullseye ring. Now, here's how step 1 works. It's the outer ring, and this is just pure brainstorming. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up a document, and at the top, you wanna write every platform that could realistically bring me clients. And then you're just gonna list them all out without judging and without filtering. Now for your audience, you've got your obvious platforms, you've got your YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Facebook. But don't forget about the lesser obvious ones like Pinterest, Reddit, Quora, Blue Sky, and maybe even Threads, depending on your niche. Also, think about communities off of Facebook, like Mighty Networks or Circle. Those ones are great. And then you've got podcasting, emailing with newsletters, maybe collaborations and partnerships, which function like a platform because you're borrowing someone else's audience. And of course, you've got Google ads, both search and YouTube ads, which are separate from organic YouTube, which is a much longer game. So the rule here is simple. Don't pick, don't optimize, don't argue with yourself, and don't eliminate anything because you hate it or you think you're bad at it. The goal is simply to get everything on paper so you can stop spinning in your head and move into a more strategic narrowing process in the next step. Step 2 is the middle ring. Now you're going to narrow the field to 3 to 5 of the most promising platforms with the highest probability of producing traction. Ask yourself which ones could deliver customers fast and which ones have enough volume to actually move the needle. Now, this is also not based on preference. It's based on evidence and likelihood. So go back to your full list and evaluate each platform using 3 grounded filters. First, and the most obvious, is your ideal client actively spending time on this platform in a buying mindset. And that last piece is really important. Do they hang out on the platform and actually buy anything there? Let's talk about Threads. I'm on Threads. I should probably get off of it because it's just like a horrible rabbit hole for me all the time. But I'm not in a buying mindset on Threads. I do not go to that platform to purchase. So think about that. Second, do people in your niche successfully acquire clients from this platform right now, today? Real time is important. Down the road, Threads might actually become a place where people are doing more shopping, but is it relevant today? And then third, ask yourself, does this platform allow you to communicate the depth required to sell your specific offer at its price point? So for example, let's say you've got a $5,000 coaching program and a platform built around a 7-second attention span may struggle to carry the depth required for that kind of higher ticket sale. So as you evaluate, you want to eliminate platforms that fail those filters. You're not trying to guess the winner yet, okay? You're identifying the most promising contenders. Once you've applied those criteria, you're going to circle the top 3 to 5 platforms that have real potential to reach qualified buyers and move those to your middle ring. And this is going to become your short list, and you're going to move into structured testing next. But before I go over the third step, the testing phase, I want to quickly share something that we've been using inside of my agency that accelerates this entire process for our clients. This is for you if you're watching this right now and you already know what your platform is, or after you run your test and you've got your platform chosen and you want to know how to accelerate the process for a lot less money. Now, we use an advanced AI-driven tool to help us test different hooks, copy angles, and creatives in a more structured way, so we're not guessing. And it speeds up the whole process so we can see what's resonating, what's not, and where the real leverage is to save time and money. So if you want to see how our AI-driven system can take your winning platform and amplify it by testing variations at a speed no human can possibly match, then book a call. The link is in the description below. All right, so step 3 is to test. You are going to run controlled experiments. And you've got a couple of options here. You've got 2 main options and a hybrid. The first is paid and the other is organic. And I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of all of them so you can understand the trade-offs. Really, there is no right answer. Both paths work, or all 3 paths work, but one costs money and the other costs time. So the first strategy is paid testing. This is the fast track, and the goal is to buy data. Now, this doesn't have to break the bank, but it does require a little cash flow. Now, what separates random ad spend from a real test is to define success in advance. So before you spend a single dollar, I want you to know 3 things first. The first is, what is a client actually worth to you? So if you're selling a $5,000 coaching package and your average client lifetime value is maybe $8,000, then that's your number. Second, what's the maximum you can afford to pay to acquire one client? Well, if a client is worth $8,000, maybe you can afford to spend $1,500. Maybe you can afford up to $3,000 because you still have a $5,000 profit margin just to get them. Third, this is where you break even. What is that point? That's the cost per acquisition that makes the math stop working. So if you're spending $8,000 to acquire an $8,000 client, there's no margin left. That's your break-even point. Anything above that and you're losing money. And people, they don't actually usually have this number in their minds, which is why they keep throwing money at something and they're losing. Once you've got those numbers locked in, you run one controlled experiment, okay? Not 3 offers, not 5 audiences, not a jumble of messages. One offer, one audience, one core message, one primary creative with the same copy, and one conversion goal. Now, with the primary creative, if you happen to be great on camera, then you can use one video. If you don't like being on camera and you're a better writer, let's say, use one high quality image with one piece of great longer form copy. Don't let the tech of the ad stop you from starting the test. Do this over a fixed window of 2 to 4 weeks with a defined budget. The minimum viable test, usually $200 to $500 total over 14 to 30 days. So that's a daily ad spend aiming for $10 to $20 per day. This is enough for the algorithms to show your ad to a few thousand people and see who clicks, if they click. Now the metrics. You aren't looking for 100 sales yet. That would be totally great, but that's not what this is about. What you're looking for is CPC, cost per click, and your CTR, click-through rate. If people are clicking at a healthy rate, you've validated that the platform and the message have potential. Now, a quick note on budget. To do this properly, you're going to need about $600 minimum, so you can spend roughly $200 on 3 platforms at least. Now you can stagger them to keep the cash flow manageable. You can test one, check the data, and then move on to the next. Try to think of this as tuition to stop wasting months on platforms that are never gonna work. This is so much cheaper than spending a year trying to grow a Pinterest account that's never really gonna send you a single lead. Now, if you can do all 3 at once, great. This is going to give you the fastest results. So why 14 to 30 days? Well, this is about getting enough data to compare platforms against the data goal. If you spend $20 per day on a platform with a $1 CPC, your cost per click, you'll have 280 clicks after 14 days. For many niches, this is more than enough to tell if the message is landing or if the cost is way too high. Then there's the algorithm factor. Modern algorithms, especially Meta, they usually take about 3 to 7 days just to exit the learning phase. So a 14-day test gives you 1 full week of optimized data after that learning period. 30 days is the gold standard. 30 days is generally preferred because it accounts for day of the week fluctuations. Like for example, some audiences, they only buy on the weekends. And then you've got the verdict. While 30 days is safer for capturing a full cycle of human behavior, once you have enough data to see a clear winner or a clear failure, you should move on. If a channel is costing you $10 per click after 14 days and your budget is totally blown, you don't need another 16 days to know this is not your bullseye. Just turn it off and stop burning money on it. And one last thing, as of the making of this video, the minimum daily ad spend on TikTok is $30. So if that's a platform that you're considering, something to keep in mind. But what do you do if you don't have $600 lying around? Well, then you can run a 90-day organic test instead. You're gonna use the same bullseye logic, just a different currency. Every week, you wanna track only 5 universal numbers: output, reach, engagement, qualified conversations, and conversions. Output is how many pieces of content or appearances you published. Reach is how many people were exposed. And this is views, downloads, visitors, or impressions on whatever applies to that platform. Engagement is meaningful interaction. This could be replies, comments, and shares. Qualified conversations are actual real inquiries, DMs, email replies, or even booked calls tied to that platform. And then finally, conversions, if they happen, are actual subscribers or clients generated from it. So over 90 days, you're watching the trend line. Is reach growing? Are you gaining more followers? Are they engaged? Are conversations increasing? Are conversions beginning to appear? If measurable movement toward revenue is happening, you've got a signal. Now, if results are flat after 30 days, don't lose heart. Don't quit the platform. This is when you're going to start refining things. You can refine your hooks, you can tweak your messaging, you can maybe adjust the copy a little bit, switch out the creatives, but keep the offer stable and reassess at 60 to 90 days based on trend direction, not emotion. If everything is flat after 8 to 12 weeks, well, that's your signal too. Here's the thing, organic takes patience, so don't bail after 4 weeks because it feels quiet. You might post 3 times and get crickets, and that could just be the algorithm warming up. A lot of people, they see those quiet weeks and they panic and they give up. But reach builds gradually. If you stick with it for the full 90 days, you're going to get the actual data that you need, a real signal. And by week 8 or 9, you'll know if that platform is worth your focus or not. Now, organic testing isn't about guessing, okay? It's about structured observation and following those 5 numbers we just talked about. Finally, here is a shortcut if you want the best of both worlds. You can use the organic content to brainstorm for free and post naturally, and then just see what resonates. Once you've isolated something, then you can take your best performing post and the one with the real engagement and interest, you're gonna put maybe $100 to $200 behind it as a paid ad. So you're boosting what's already working for you organically. And this cuts the risk in half because you know people are already responding to that message you've been putting out there before you spend a single dime. But again, this approach also requires some patience. Okay, so now you've got your 3 strategies. You're just choosing between spending money to save time or spending time to save money. Whichever strategy you go with, remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. All of marketing, all of growing your brand and realizing your dream of having impact is a marathon. You're in this for the long game. So just remember, if it feels slow now, imagine what you'll feel like spending 8 months all over the place with nothing to show for it. And then you've got your final step. You're gonna choose the platform that's the winner and you're gonna become a master at it. And don't touch a second platform until you hit diminishing returns. If you decide to go with running a paid test or using the hybrid strategy, then you can book a free strategy call and we'll show you how to turn your Bullseye test into a high-speed learning loop so you can scale on your winning platform a lot faster. And if you go organic, you can still book your free call. You can do this now or once you've chosen your platform and you're ready to invest in scaling it. We'll help you amplify what's already working and grow it with the same level of precision and speed. Either way, our advanced AI-driven system can help you get where you want to go faster by optimizing and amplifying the platform that's best for your brand with a lot less money and time. Remember, you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be clear, focused, and authentic in one place that actually works. So good luck with your Bullseye method, and I'll see you in the next video.